Hi everybody, it's Christopher. Today, what is it today? Today is Thursday, April 30th. Well, we had some news by the governor yesterday, which I'll talk about. Right now I need some more coffee. I gotta drink coffee. My sister gave me this cup a long time ago. Brother, it says brother on it. Brother, love my sister. She works in the hospital. She's a respiratory therapist. And I worry about her because that job is not a pleasant job right now. Okay, is this level? Let me make sure this is level. Hold on. And so the governor... Oh no, come on. The governor made some announcements yesterday about phase 1 of reopening the state. And guess what? I'm not one of the businesses that's allowed to go back to work. So, which means I'll be home more. And I decided I was looking for, because one of the things they said was they want to find a way until the hair industry can find a way to have social distancing. They won't let us go back. Well, it looks like we're going to be out for a long time. I'll tell you what, I suspected before. I said I think we're going to be out until about June or July at the most. But you know, there's no way you can have complete social distancing with being a hairdresser. But there is a way to protect yourselves. And once this virus is really under control, we'll be able to go back to work safely. But right now, the virus still is not under control. It's just not under control at all. So, but when it is under control, we'll be wearing face masks. And I'm making disposable face masks for my clients when they come in the salon if they don't have their own mask. So that's what I'm doing right now. And yeah, so anyway, I said, well, you know, I sure do miss working in the salon. And but I've been working a lot from home. And fortunately right now I have a few clients that still have jobs working in corporate that have helped keep me employed at home doing sewing and stuff. We just have to keep a positive attitude and live on a really tight budget. Because, you know, most of us are living off our savings, and some people don't have a savings. All I can say is thank God I didn't buy that new car this year. Thank God I don't have a car payment, because I would have been really SOL, because you know how expensive cars are. And I purposely drive a really old car, and it's a decent car. I bought it used. I bought it from my friend. It's an '01 Acura. He was selling his car right when I got into a car accident. Some guy was texting and driving, and he went through a red light and totaled my truck. So I have to say I do miss my truck, because I love to do things around the house and go to Home Depot and all that stuff. But for the price that he sold it to me for, you couldn't beat it. And you know, I put a couple $1,000 into it. But every mechanic that I've been to, and even my private mechanic that I'm at now, had said to me, "That's a damn good car. This is the kind of car they made to last." And I have 240,000 miles on it. And when I go to work every day, I put a round trip amount of 50 miles round trip on every day. But every mechanic I talked to said, "Just take care of it. You'll get over 350,000 miles on this car." I said, "Well, that's good, because the leather seats in this car are already splitting. You know, I mean, it still drives beautiful though on the road." I was really surprised how advanced this car was. It's a 2001. This car had a lot of advanced technology for its time, like the white highlight, the headlights. They're daylight corrected. They're white, and all other vehicles back then still had the yellow headlights, the yellow color lights. Like today, we got these lights like this that are daylight corrected, right here, Whereas the older sewing machines, they have the yellow light bulbs inside, but you could buy the new LED light bulbs to replace them in the sewing machines. You can go online and look. And so I said, well, since I've got the time now, and finding disposable masks is very difficult right now, and then when you do find them, it's total highway robbery on some places. So I said, well, I've got the product. I got the product here to make masks, and so I'll make these for my hair clients when they come in. And then for everybody else that wants to buy masks from me, I have reusable masks that I'm selling on my website. So, so all that's been keeping me busy, like a lot of you out there making masks. It's been keeping you busy, keeping you employed. So our governor released phase 1. He was saying the other day he's going to fly to Washington to talk to the president and his team about what to do. I'm thinking to myself, you're going to fly in a plane to go up there? Why can't you just Skype? I mean, anyway. And then, of course, the backlash of the vice president not wearing a mask in the Mayo Clinic. That was really disrespectful on his part. I had time to think about that, and I thought, that's very arrogant and disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the healthcare community who are risking their lives, and it's disrespectful to the sick who are in that hospital. So, let's put it this way. Just remember who you want to vote for when it comes to November, who's going to protect your life, because this man's not protecting you. This administration doesn't... They're just a joke. Anyway, so in Hillsborough County, which is Tampa, I read where the mayor is still going to keep the beaches closed, or the little beaches around Tampa, which I think is a good idea. A lot of people don't think it's a good idea, but I've gone to the grocery store a few times since I've been home, and every time I've gone, there's always these people behind me that don't stay 6 feet away, and you can feel them breathing down my back, right? So I had to tell a couple of them off. I was really upset. But let's see. Let me see if I can show you something in a little... All right. So let's pretend this is my shopping cart, and this is the conveyor belt where you put your groceries, and the cashier would be right up here. Okay? So now, this is where you stand and push the cart, right? So as I'm standing here waiting for my turn, staying 6 feet away from the person ahead of me, there's these people behind me. Like every time I'm in line, there's always somebody standing like less than a foot away from me, behind me. And, and they usually don't have a mask on either. So what I do is, I kindly get in front of my cart, right here, and I take all my groceries out when it's my turn and put them on the conveyor belt. And so let's pretend that this is where the credit card machine is, right here. That's the credit card machine, okay? So now, I push my cart up far enough where it's still against my body where the credit card machine is. And here's where the baggage, the grocery bags are, right over here, right? So I take my groceries as she's putting them in the bag. I always do this. And I put them in my cart. As she's filling up my bags, I put them in my cart. I hate those people that wait till they check out before they put their grocery bags in their cart. And then there's some women, they've got to put everything in their handbag and organize everything before they move forward. Really? Like they're the only person on the face of this earth. Well, I like to be considerate for other people, and I like to have other people considered for my health. So anyway, this guy today, he's back here, and he starts trying to push my cart forward, and I put my leg on my cart like, oh no, you're not going to push that forward. So he was standing with a few items. He puts them on the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt moves down. Now my stuff is already done. I'm ready to check out. Okay. So his stuff moves down. This lady is behind him. Now he has no grocery cart. He's just standing here. This lady is behind him. And she's pushing her way to put her groceries onto the conveyor belt. Now he's like, okay, he wasn't wearing a mask, but she was wearing a mask, but she still was not 6 feet behind him. And she had to be in her late 60s, early 70s. So now he backs up around here and stands on the side of my cart over here. Oh, that didn't sit well with me. So here she is putting all her stuff, and she's giggling, having herself some party with her friend that's behind her. So finally I said to the cashier, I said, I guess some people don't watch the news. And this lady looked up at me and she said, I do watch the news. And I said, well then, do you know how to count feet? You're supposed to be 6 feet behind. Could you please move 6 feet back so this gentleman in front of me can lose 6 feet back? So you're 6 feet behind him and he's 6 feet behind me. Could you please do that? So that'll be a total of 12 feet back behind my cart. And she just looked at me and put her hands on her hip. And I said, lady, this is not an orgy party at the Villages. I was livid. So some of my friends on Facebook had told me the other day, says, oh, I just used Instacart. I just do this. I just do that. I don't even do it anymore. And I'm looking at myself, wait a minute. Those people who shop for other people on Instacart, those people are going through the same thing. Those people shopping for you are going through the same thing. They are risking their lives to shop for you. And I don't know if they're saying anything or if they're allowed to say anything, or I don't know. But, you know, here's my thought to all you all. You got to tell people, you got to remind them, stay back, stay away. So I give her credit for wearing a mask, but she was a Looney Tune. Oh, she doesn't know what 6 feet are. And then they have the pathways now on the floor. They got the stickers on the floor in the grocery store that tell you which way you're allowed to go. You know, walk this way, wrong way. Here's the other thing I don't understand. All right, this is the aisle, right? Okay, this is one side of the aisle, and this is the other side of the aisle. Okay, now when I go grocery shopping, and I'm going down the aisle, I stay to the right, just like driving a car in America. I stay to the right side of the road. Well, there's these people that decide they're going to be right in the middle of the grocery aisle, and no one can go by them. But now that it's only one way, now you got people coming down this way in the middle of the aisle, and I'm here, and they're like inches away from me, and I'm like, you stupid people, stay. If you're going to go down the wrong side, like you're not supposed, if you're going to go down the wrong aisle that tells you not to go this way, stay to the right and stay away from people. You know, honest to God, there's some crazy ass people out there. These people have shit for brains. They have shit for brains. And I'm like, these are adults. And they're all age groups. They're not just one age group. They're all age groups. I don't get it, man. People, no, you know, they must be on drugs. They must be on brain drugs, mental drugs, something, because they sure aren't thinking. They aren't thinking. They're in their own little world. They don't give a shit about nobody else. And then some lady, as I'm here, right? I'm here. This is my grocery cart. This lady decides to go around me like this, and come right in front of my cart, and push her way over here to grab something off the shelf, not even saying excuse me, or not even waiting till I go by. I wasn't even there that long. And I'm thinking to myself, you filthy woman. You filthy woman. Now the men are not aggressive like these women are. These women are aggressive. And they're all a bunch of Looney Tunes. The ones that I see, they're all a bunch of Looney Tunes. The guys, they're just stupid. Most of the guys not wearing masks were middle-aged white guys. Middle-aged white guys and older. Those are the ones that weren't wearing masks. Now, most of the older ladies in the store, they're all wearing masks. And most of the older ladies were paying attention and following the rules. It was the younger ones in their 30s and 40s. They weren't giving a shit. They didn't follow nothing. They didn't care. And I kept thinking to myself, who raised these people? Who are these people's parents? You know? Oh my God. You know, when we were kids and my mother took us grocery shopping when we were young. This is the grocery cart. This is my mother pushing the grocery cart. We had to stand on the side and hold that grocery cart. We had to put our hands in that grocery cart and walk with my mother. We were not allowed to run around the store. We were not allowed to run anywhere. We had to stay right next to my mother and hold that grocery cart while she was shopping. Now, she didn't take us shopping a lot, but when she did, we had to stay right with her. I don't see that today with parents and their kids. I see these parents letting their kids run all over the store. They're screaming. And what's the mother doing? She's got that grocery cart. What's the mother doing? On the cell phone, texting, on the cell phone, looking down while her kids are running all over the place. They don't make mothers like they used to. They don't make mothers like they used to. Every day I thank my mother for being a mother who watched out for her kids and protected her children and taught her children to respect other people's property and to respect other people. That was my mother. I am so grateful I had a mother like that. And it seems like a lot of us had mothers like that from my age group. But it seems like today, people my age are really bad parents. And I don't understand that because the parents we had were very disciplined to us. They disciplined us and they taught us right from wrong and how to be respectful and stay out of other people's way and don't cross into somebody else's yard. But today, it's just a free-for-all and what's yours is mine, it seems like. None of it makes sense to me. None of it. But that's the world we're living in, folks. That's the world we're living in. What can I say? But it gives me something to talk about, doesn't it? It gives me something to talk about in my videos. And, yeah. So... But no, I look at the way parents are today, and I remember the way my mother was when she raised us, and there's such a difference of people today. Such a difference in parents today. Parents are more self-absorbed in themselves, it seems. Like my mother would never be... if my mother had a cell phone, which she does now, she would not be standing there on the texting all day with my little nephew or little niece and letting them run all over the store. My mother would never allow that. She'd make sure that my niece or nephew, for example, would be holding on that grocery cart just like we did growing up. Because even my mother tells me stories of what she sees in the grocery store and how people are today. And I said to my mom, I said, thank you, Mom. Thank you for being a mother that cared. Thank you for being a mother that looked out for our safety. I said, you know, when we were kids, we thought you were being mean. But when we got older, we realized you were protecting us. You were protecting us. And I thank her every day. I call her every couple days to check up on her, and I've told her so many times, thank you, Mom, for being the mother that you are. Because as a mother to us children, she was the best mom in the world. And she worked her ass off growing up. My mom was a worker, man. She worked 40 hours a week outside the home, and she worked 100 hours a week inside the home. I remember ladies in the neighborhood used to accuse my mother of having a housekeeper because her house was so clean. And we always had home-cooked meals. And back then, a lot of people did canning. You know, in the wintertime, people would prepare for the winter by getting fruits and vegetables and canning. So they had jars of fruit and vegetable in the basement for the winter. So when the winter months came, you never went without your fruits and vegetables that you picked from your garden during the summer and the fall. So, but people don't do much canning. People don't do canning today. I mean, I don't can. It's just me, you know. I don't can. But, see, then the wire will go up here, and then I got this elastic, and have nice mask for my clients. Wire up here, elastic for the ears, and these can be reused. These can be washed and reused, but I'm making it be disposable because when a client comes in to get hair color, this clear elastic, it doesn't matter, but color, you put this around your ears, you get color on that. So you can't, if you have a good mask, you don't want to get color on your straps. So I'm making these for them. And that's another thing. I thank God every day for giving me the ability to sew. Every day, you know, and when I think about how people used to tease me, like my ex-partner used to tease me about sewing. That's why he's an ex. I thought, why are you like that? So a lot of you ladies, I understand when your husbands always make comments about you sewing, but thank God, when Project Runway came on TV, I didn't feel so alone about sewing because there were so many men on Project Runway that were sewing, and I'm like, yes, you know, because I knew men sewed for professions all those years. You know, you've got awning makers, you've got tent makers, you've got shoe repairmen, you've got people who do car upholstery. So I knew men sewed, but you never really saw them on television or anything, right? So it's just nice to know that there's other people out there that do the same thing you do, and there's nothing wrong with it because it is self-sufficiency and and it's a livelihood. I mean, it puts food on your table, right? So one of the things we're talking about that I brought up in some sewing groups, oh my God, these women in these sewing groups were going off big time when I posted this. A lot of them were positive and stuff, but I know some women who do sew for a living and they're single moms. And, you know, their sewing machine makes them money to put food on the table for their kids. And during this pandemic, this lockdown, a lot of them were doing what I'm doing. They're sewing masks and making money. And they're selling their masks to people who have money to buy them. People who are still working, people who have money. You know, people who would normally buy these masks from CVS or from some other medical supply place. But because they're all out, you know, these people are calling on people like us who are sewing to buy from us, right? All right. So then you've got all these women in these sewing groups on Facebook that are demeaning other women for charging for masks. They should be free. You should not be charging. And most of these women saying that, they're either one of two groups of women. They're either housewives whose husbands have supported them and paid for everything their whole life, and they didn't have to work. They were never the main breadwinners. Or they're retired and they're collecting a pension and a Social Security check. So they're blasting people who this is their livelihood. This needle and thread is their livelihood. It's not a hobby. And they're blasting the people who are making masks and charging for them. I made a comment on one of the groups and I said, hey, I worked for a corporation for many years, and the only people holding women back were other women. Other women were holding other women back. Oh, these women would support a man who got promoted. Like I remember I worked in the phone company, and this one man got promoted, and this one woman got promoted one year, and hardly any of the women went up to her and congratulated her, right? But this guy got promoted, and all the women were all up in this guy's face. Oh, congratulations, congratulations. But those same women barely said a word to the woman who got promoted, right? And I witnessed that years ago. And I said, the only people holding women back are other women. That's true. And I see it in the sewing world as well. I see it in the sewing world. And I just don't get it. It's like when Hillary Clinton was running for president, and these women these women were saying, and I had someone I worked for even said, and I spoke about this in my other video, I didn't vote for Hillary because she never left Bill when he cheated on her. That is the most asinine, stupid reason I ever heard in my life. And I'm like, and you expect people to take women seriously with an answer like that? You have proven that your species and your gender has not advanced, or some of you people in your gender have not advanced. That's really sad. Very sad. And a lot of you ladies have agreed with me. You said I'm right, because you guys recognize it too. And then somebody said, oh, but if a man charges, no one says nothing. That's not true. That's not true. I've had people say something to me till they realized this was my income. And I've got clients buying from me. You know? So cool, right? See how easy it is to pleat? And these are throwaways, so I'm not going to be worried about making them, square around here. These are just throwaway. And I need to get as many done as possible. I had clients that were calling me all week before the governor made his announcement, because they thought we were going to be opening up again. Because at the end of April was when we were supposed to, all the businesses and stuff, all the lockdown was going to be, over. And I said, oh boy. So when everybody was calling me and stuff, I said, oh man, I need to make sure everybody has a mask on. And then I thought, well, I'm going to go online and see if I can order some masks and stuff. And then when I saw, the price gouging, and how, I went to, like CVS, for example, had some decent prices on throwaway masks. And it said, only in stores. I said, okay. So one day I got, the other day I got myself ready. I bundled up, like I was going to be in outer space. I wrapped myself up like I was some astronaut. And I go to CVS and I couldn't find the mask anywhere. So I went back to the pharmacist and I said, hey, it says online I can't buy masks online, but you guys, it says it's in stores. And she goes, oh no, we haven't had masks for a long time. Our warehouse is out. I said, well, who's ever running your website is not keeping it up to date. I said, because I came all the way down here because your website said in stores. So that's when I got home and said, well, I got this fabric and I'm just going to start making some masks as quick as I can. Then when the governor made his announcement that hair salons are not allowed to be open yet, they said until they can prove they can have social distancing. And I'm like, that's never going to happen. There's no way we can have social distancing, but there are ways we can do everything we can to protect ourselves. And I think if, most of my clients, well, not most of my clients, all my clients are very responsible people. And most all the clients I do, 95% of my clients are corporate people. 5% of my clients are retired people. So, I'm very fortunate that I have intelligent, educated people that, they're not going to be like those people I encounter at the grocery stores. They're going to be responsible. Because, working on hair, that's up close and personal. And everybody's going crazy right now because they need their hair done. Oh, I finally cut my hair myself. I couldn't take it anymore. I had forgotten, when I came home a month ago, I had forgotten my my clippers at the salon. So I had some old clippers at home, but I didn't have the big guards. So I practically just shaved all the hair off. Now when I go anywhere, I just wear a hat. So once they allow us to go back to work, I got to call my girl and say, I need to get in for a haircut too. Now, I know there's a lot of people in the hair industry that are probably going to people's houses and doing it, you know, in secret and behind closed, you know, doors and stuff. Some of those people have no money, so I can't condemn them or judge them. All I can say is I hope they're all taking precaution and that they're wearing masks and being careful. That's all I can ask. But I will not go and take that risk of going to someone's house right now. You know, I was talking to my partner in the salon, and I said, what are we going to do? And he says, you're going to have to, you know, screen people. So we're looking at getting one of those instant read thermometers so we can see if people have a fever. We have to question people. And the reason why these masks have to be worn is this person could be contagious, be what they call asymptomatic, but show no signs. And they can infect me. I could be asymptomatic and not show no signs, and I can infect them. So that's why each of us, it's important for both of us to wear masks. Both of us. And even true out in society out there. I just read today where Costco, the wholesale food place, will not let any customers in without a mask. I haven't seen if Sam's Club is going to accept that rule yet, but there are some states in the United States that will not allow people in their store unless they're wearing a mask. And I think bravo to them, because the only way that this virus is going to be under control is if everyone has to wear a mask in public. Now I see where, you know, our governor is allowing restaurants to be open, but only serve people in person if they have an outdoor facility, and they have to sit 6 feet apart. I guess if you're going to go to dinner with your husband or wife, you're going to have to sit 6 feet away from each other and talk like this. Hey, honey, how's your dinner? Is it pretty good? I don't know. But it's like this around the whole world. If you're watching me, I know some of you watch me from other countries. Hello, everybody from Australia, New Zealand, and the UK, and everywhere you're watching. I know you're going through the same struggles that I talk about. So we're all around the whole world in this together. But a lot of you have better leaders than we do in the United States. You know, some of you are... Oh. I don't want to get started because when I think about all those people that voted for this guy that's in office and how this guy is making the poor suffer. All right, everybody. Until next time, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Wear your mask. Be safe, okay? Love you. Bye.